All right, welcome back, everybody. Another day, another trading day, another dollar to be earned. This time we're going to be scalping the the S&P 500 for New York Open. How's everyone doing? Let me get a chart up and I'll look at the chat real quick. Full port Friday, Cody says. Should we do it? You know what? If I see a perfect setup, I'm going to full port Friday. Well, maybe not full port, but I'm gonna up the size a bit. Con, good to see you. How are you, my friend? Dr. Me, great to see you. Cherry as well. I think today is going to be interesting because of the news. Yes, we got news coming out in like 15 minutes. I think it's where is it? Oh, what the hell's going on here? This looks weird. Here we go. Yes, we got the flash manufacturing. Okay, not bad, but we had yeah, GDP. How did that come in? Ooh, came in a bit. All right, well, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it'll be better than yesterday. And again, the moment we got off, what happened? We got out the range. I'm telling you. I think Peter was the one who was laughing about that. Peter, there you are. Amar, good afternoon to you, my friend. How are you? Peter, as predicted, the moment we got off, price went down. What a joke. It knows. Okay, we've just opened. Fatty, good morning to you. How are you? Dr. Me is currently in the cell, but let's see. Brave, man, brave. Especially just before open. But it looks like it might work out for you. This is looking not bad. I hope it does work out. Yes, mate, just as you left, I was waiting. You know what? I actually did catch the retracement. So if you remember, my balance yesterday was like 19,000 signs. I did actually catch the bit of a retracement trade yesterday, right as we got off. But yeah, it is what it is. Good morning, In Joker. How are you? All right. Let's see what this volume's looking like. Oh, a very interesting distribution on the open. Lots of buyers at the top, sellers stuck at the bottom, but buyers are willing to come back in. It looks very rangy again. Please don't be a range day. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to I'm just going to draw a line, a nice vertical line for the news, just so I don't forget. When I see that line, I know, okay, the news is coming out. Cherry, have you left NQ for S&P? No, I'm just doing the S&P now because I still got to contact Ola Prime. I got to contact the guys and be like, there's something with my account. If I try and trade the NQ, nothing. I don't know. It's like shut off for me. But the ES works, so that's why I'm trading the ES. I've really got to get on it. I've yet to actually ask them what the hell's going on, guys. Why have you disabled NQ for me? That's like my instrument. But it's fine. ES, same shit, really, isn't it? I mean, it just moves a bit more slower, but it's the same idea. You just add a bit more size, and all is good. So, and to be fair, the ES is what do you call it? Footprint is actually very nice to read. So we might be okay. In terms of levels today, let me just switch to the 15-minute. I mean, that's barely a gap, and we've traveled through it so many times. So truth be told, I'm pretty much going to get rid of that. That's no longer needed. Let me just double check that's extend right. Good. There is a nice one right at the bottom here. It would be very, very nice if we could get down to this area. I'm definitely looking for longs. That would be really, really nice one to take because it's a beautiful little gap. It's only, I don't think it's ever really been tested. It's been slightly tested when just after it was created, because obviously it was created on this movement up here. That's the gap caused by that candle there, and you can see all the big volume coming in, and you can see even like 1.39 1.39, so that's where it skipped price. So it was these buyers here that were very, very effective at pushing that price up. So that's why this gap was created. And then we had a little retest. They defended really well and we pushed up. So if we get back into that area, I can imagine there will be some buy pressure. Other people will have noticed it. People are going to be happy to buy in that area. So fingers crossed, right? We get down there, but this, shit, this is not looking good, is it? It doesn't want to go. Come on, get down. We want to get to that gap. I mean, maybe there might be 1 minute kind of scalps we could potentially do, like really short-term ones. I mean, on the 1 minute, we could draw a volume profile on this. Little push down here and see if there's anything nice. I mean, the best one by far is right there. You can kind of see that one looks really nice. And that kind of, lines up with overall structure as well. You can see how at one point that was support. If we get back up there will definitely be some kind of resistance. So I'll look for like a scalp up here. Maybe get a few points, maybe 10 points or so. Might be worth jumping in. But as of right now, there's not much right here. Unfortunately, the volume is relatively, let me make trading view bigger. The volume is relatively, it's low. Yeah, it's low volume, but that could be also because the news is coming out. So, Dr. Me, Sammy, what do you think about a volume profile from 21st of November to the 28th of Jan? Let's have a look. I'm probably gonna have to drop to the 4 hour for that one. 21st of November, yeah? Let's have a look. I'm assuming it's here. Yeah, oh man, look at this rally up. 21st of November, so basically there till 28th of January, which is up there. Yeah, I mean, let's have a look. Doesn't look terrible. Excuse me, doesn't look terrible. I'm gonna have to switch off extend right. And yeah, there's a lot of little areas that have yet to be tested. So, you got a really nice gap here. That's beautiful, that one. Got one here. There's a few actually that look very nice. So that's a really good volume profile. I mean, have we tested any of these? So we kind of, went on to that one. That one's been tested. So yeah, absolutely. I'll keep those on the chart. I mean, they're obviously much more longer term. So as we get down to those areas, I'll be interested in buying, but we're far, far away from them. So it's good to have on the chart. But unlikely we're going to get to those levels anytime soon. This is a 4 hour chart. Obviously, this is far away, very far away. So maybe in a few weeks, who knows, or maybe even a few days. I mean, it can move. If it decides to move, it can move, but unlikely today we'll really see those levels get tested. Yeah, the distribution doesn't look terrible. I'm just going to put my phone on charge. There we go. Beautiful. All right. So we got the news coming out in just under 10 minutes. I think we're probably not going to get that much interest. Have we had any of the Sammy Hammerfoot candles yet? We haven't. I mean, kind of here, but it's not terrible actually. But it's it's all right. I mean, but the overall distribution of volume isn't bad. It's definitely more bullish right now in terms of the distribution of volume. Again, all the sellers are generally stuck at the bottom, but now we're starting to see sellers a little bit on the top side. So we want to get above those sellers to continue that bull movement. Otherwise, this could be a retracement. And if it's a retracement, well, no big deal, right? I mean, we could, if we see it just as a retracement, you could do a volume profile. Like here's a gap right there, right? So even in this area, potentially could be an area. Now, bear in mind, this is a really microscopic one in terms of, it's you're going to want a bit more confirmation. You don't want to just end blindlessly, but as you're seeing a bit of buy pressure come in, you could probably go in for a very quick scalp. Like I'll do it now. Maybe we can get a little bit of a push up on it. But again, this is like a tiny, tiny 1 minute area. Is it going to hold? It could do, but this will only be if the volume distribution is correct, right? So this is not looking bad, but the volume is, on the sell side, we've got the buy pressure coming in. It's not too bad. We really need to get above those sellers there. And then this is then you can hold it for a little bit and, hopefully it'll push us up. But you can have like a really just based purely on, if this is what do you call it? If this is actual real move up and we're going to go higher and higher, then this could be an okay area for a potential bounce. But otherwise, there could be a retracement all the way down to here is possible. But realistically speaking, if we start breaking below that little gap, it's not gonna. Where is this thing? Where is the volume profile? Yeah, we're starting to. You can see how it's not. It's kind. I mean, you could give it a little bit of room because it is just a 1 minute gap. It's not going to be perfect to the T, so you want to kind of see what happens. But yeah, you want the distribution of volume to be sellers at the bottom, buyers at the top, and generally bullish candles. Then that would look like a good continuation. You kind of want to see, how it was here earlier. But it doesn't look absolutely terrible. You can see still sellers are predominantly more at the bottom of the candle, which is good. But buyers are also at the top, but we're not going above the buyers, right? We need to see that kind of those green candles appear and sellers remain at the bottom, buyers at the top. That distribution will indicate, all right, this is going up. So it's looking good for this second, but it can change very quickly. Like this is looking good. Buyers are above the sellers. Now we just need to keep that kind of pressure going, and then there could be a nice extension here. Let me just get rid of all these little drawings. Honestly, I can never decide from where to draw the volume profile. Overthink it. Try not to overthink it. Just look at just the legs. Do you know what I mean? Try not to overthink it too much. There's no like hard rule about it. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of just, yeah, where it makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Logically. Yeah, you see how the buyers kind of failed to get it higher? We can have a stop below this candle here. In terms of, I'm going to get rid of the take profit because if it does go higher, I would want to ride it a bit. But we can have a stop, with the spread. I don't know what the spread is. Probably about there. We'll make it like that. We'll give it a little bit more room because it is a 1 minute. We've got a bad entry. But let me just get rid of all these drawings. It looks like we're going sideways. Oh, God, what is going on? Come on. There we go. Obviously, we got news coming out in 4 minutes. So I would want to be out of this trade regardless. Probably not a good idea to be in a trade just before news. But just as an example, if it is a bull trend, then these are the areas where you expect price to kind of bounce off from, either from here to continue up, or if it's a bit more of a deeper retracement, you would expect it to go from here, But let's see if we can actually break above. Just before news, I'll get out regardless. I'm not going to hold it. Even if, if it's bullish and it goes really high, oh, well, so what? Because you just never know, right? Autumn, how are you? Talal, evening to you. How are you, my friend? On the 15-minute time frame, it could be 15, it can be 1 hour, 4 hour, doesn't really matter as long as you get the time frame is not really that important. It's more about just you want to see the whole leg. If you could fit it in a 15-minute chart and you can see the whole leg, great. If you could fit it in a 1 hour, if you could fit it in a 5 minute, doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? All right, so we're getting to that first little gap area where I expect some kind of sellers to come in. I just want to double check this area. Oh yeah, that's a very good gap. So really, realistically, I don't really want to be targeting higher than that. We're getting to the news in a few minutes. I'll probably get out this trade right now. just because I'm going to expect, we've got news coming out in a couple of minutes. Unlikely we're just going to blow right through that little gap there. There's probably going to be some kind of retracement or something. The volume is huge on the buy side. There was no real follow through. Probably best to just take your money on that little scalp. But yeah, if we had a bit of a better entry, because I think our entry was quite high up. It was like all the way up here. It was a bit of a shit entry, but if you have a better entry closer to the gap, it would have been a much more nicer kind of trade. But it is what it is. I'm out with 12 points. Excellent stuff, Wajid. Excellent. News in 4 minutes or 3 minutes. Yes. So now we sit back, we let the news happen. Talal, really missed you, man, last couple of days. Thank you, Talal. I'm back now. I'm back. Hi, Sam. It's Sufyan. How are you? Sufyan, great to see you. I had an interview with Sufyan. So Sufyan, for the viewers, everyone watching, he's a trader, obviously. And you signed up to Ola Prime. He got funded and he got a payout. And we did a payout interview with him. He requested it live. He got his money. Awesome stuff. So great to see you, Sufyan. Great to see you. So yeah, guys, if you trade with Ola Prime and you get a payout, and you want to do an interview with me, that will go on YouTube, obviously on the Ola Prime channel. Hey, more than happy to do it. It would be awesome to, we try to do as many client success interviews as possible. So really cool stuff. All right, news is about to drop. Here it is. Let me get rid of this. Not really much. That's the most anticlimactic news ever. I mean, it moved less than before the news. What's going on? I just saw that it's SPY, but I'm trading NQ. Yeah, I'm trading the ES today. I know the thumbnail says NQ, but I didn't have any thumbnails that said ES, so it's like, it's fine. I got asked the team to create one with a few ES thumbnails as well. Let's see what the news actually came out with. Oh, it's negative. Barely. I can barely see. Yeah. All right, it's not too bad. I mean, it's pretty much flat, and it seems to be pretty in line with expectation. Nothing crazy, right? Well, that didn't do anything, which is good. But we got the news out the way now. There's nothing really. New home sales, I'm not too worried about. Yeah, I'm not massively worried about that. These kind of FOMC member speaks doesn't really do much unless something crazy happens, but generally speaking, it's not that bad. All right, so we're good to keep trading. Now, I will be looking for potential shorts in this area, at least like a little retracement. Do you know what I mean? Maybe a few points back down to the point of control. Oops. Or even back down to here. So, but look at that buy volume come in. 826. That is a lot of buy volume. Let's keep extending this volume profile. So we can just get these areas a little bit. Now there's a really nice gap a little bit higher up. Let me just draw that one out for you. Look at that. Beautiful gap. See how clean that one looks? That one looks really clean. And looks like it was respected quite well. Pretty much touched it to the T. So really nice area. There's another one there. There we go. Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Let's see. I do want to see what happens in that area. I'm just going to hit extend right on this, so I don't have to keep updating it. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Let's see what happens when we get up to, 6,884, around that kind of area. I don't really want to buy again. And the reason I don't want to buy right now is because of this volume on that candle. And there was no major follow through after it. So over 3,000, additional buy contracts on the delta. That's never really a great sign if there's no follow through. Yes, we're in a small little gap, but we're quite close to that gap as well. could be a bit of consolidation. I wouldn't be surprised if we see kind of a little bit of consolidation between these two areas start occurring. But I'm a bit weary buying just because of that buy volume, right? I'm a little bit weary on it. But if we look at the, look at the cumulative. Okay, here we go. Look at the cumulative delta. So the last few minutes, right? We started the range at negative 2,320, 320. Now we're at basically negative 2,000 and we're starting to break out. But just before we were negative 1,000. So there was a lot of buyers, more buyers came in. They couldn't push it up any higher. It's definitely for me more of a sell on the short term. Not saying that it's going to go down, but definitely more of a at this moment in time the sellers are more efficient. So I'd be more inclined to sell at this moment in time. But I do believe we might get to this gap here. And if we do that, I'm definitely looking to sell. That would be my ideal place. I don't really want to sell here because this could just be a retracement, and then buyers will find their feet again, maybe near the point of control, and then they start pushing it up, and then you're kind of stuck and you're trapped. So yeah, but it was a good time to get out on that little trade we had. Really good time to get out. So I would like it to go up to here. I really would like to have a short position here. I think that could be very nice. Very, very nice. I hope this isn't already the move because that would be a bit annoying. But if it is, it is. What can you do? But this is a nice sell-off happening right here. Really nice and structured. Why are you trading CFDs instead of futures? So because I'm trading with Ola Prime Markets, we only have CFDs at this moment in time. We're not a futures broker yet. We do have a futures prop firm, but I'm trading with Ola Prime Markets right now. So currently our broker side is only CFD. So, but essentially it's the same thing. It's the same chart. You can use the futures data and you can execute on a CFD broker. Absolutely fine. You can do, because you want the data. Like whatever happens on the future is going to happen on the CFD side. The futures is what moves the market, right? So, and I can't trade on a futures broker because I'm employed by Ola Prime, so I cannot use any other broker. I mean, I can trade in my own personal account. That's different, but I can't do it publicly, if that makes sense, right? So I can only use Ola Prime, which is fine by me. I'm happy to do that because we're a good broker and a good prop firm, very good prop firm. Sufyan can attest to that. He's one of our traders. Same movement. Exactly. It's exactly the same. The only difference between the CFD side and the future side is the actual price number is slightly different, right? So on the CFD side, we're at 850. Futures, we're at 866. But that's it. And a different spread. Yeah, of course. CFDs have generally larger spreads, but therefore no commission. So kind of balances out, really. Generally, futures are quite a bit more expensive to trade, like in day to day. But yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to both. Like especially if you're holding trades. If you're holding trades over the weekend, overnight, futures are pricey. Like a lot of futures brokers will charge you a lot. They'll charge you like $50 per contract that you're holding. Do you know what I mean? Just for overnight. That's if they allow it. Some don't even straight up don't even allow you. They'll close your position before the market closes and charge you as well for that privilege. Charge you to close your position. Again, they'll charge you like $50 or something per contract. So it can get quite pricey. If you've got a few contracts on and you forget to close it, yeah, you could be spending a few $100s just just for the privilege of. Okay, so interesting. This little gap, which has now been filled, it's no longer a gap, but that's the one that kind of held, pushed up. Let's see if we can get to this area and, you know, aiming for the node at 6825. 6825. Are you looking at CFDs or futures? Oh, this one here. Yeah, this one would be lovely. If we got down here, I would absolutely want to buy. Absolutely want to buy down here. And look, actually, there's a really nice node even on that downward move, which kind of matches up to that one. So that one as well, I would be very interested in buying because both sides it matches up. Got a node here, and then even on this little push up here, we got the version of that node all lining up quite nicely. So even in that area, I would be very interested in potentially buying. So we shall see. Let's let it do its thing. So there's actually a lot of opportunity right now. You know, we got a potential short at the top here. We got a potential buy from here. We have also another buy lower down at 25, as TR said. So there's a lot of good small scalping opportunities lined up here. We just got to move to one of them. So is it compatible with MT5? Yes, Ola Prime Markets, our broker side, we compatible with MT5. I think for US clients, you might not be, because I think MT5 is pretty much blocked for US, for the US market. So as long as you're outside the US, I'm pretty sure you can use MT5. But that's something out of our control. That's a regulation thing. But I think people found ways to get around it. Maybe use a VPN or something. I don't know, but there's always ways around this stuff. So not that I advise you to do that, of course. You got to stick to the regulations. But if you want to use MT5 in the US, I think you can if you if you use a VPN or something. So is it, yeah. Why do futures brokers charge you for holding over the weekend? I thought you just have to increase the margin by a lot. Honestly, I don't know. A lot of futures brokers, they charge you for a lot of things. Overall, look, futures is a great being on a futures broker is good. They have a huge amount of trust. That's the main thing about futures brokers. It's a gentleman's market, right? I'm not saying CFD brokers are untrustworthy. Of course not. There are many legit CFD brokers. But there's also a big chunk of CFD brokers that B-book, right? So their whole business model is essentially taking the opposite side of your trade, hoping you fail. Now you don't want to be part of that, right? You don't want to be, and these brokers, they actually hold your money. Do you see what I mean? They have access to your money. All CFD brokers actually have access to your money on your deposit. But there are a lot of, decent CFD brokers out there, that have some form of regulation, that don't be book, that actually put you to the live market, etc., etc. And those guys completely fine to trade with. You trade, whether you win or lose, they make their money on the spread, commission, etc. Right? So all well and good. And that's like us, right? But then on future side, like the broker doesn't even touch your money. It goes to a financial clearinghouse, right? So when you deposit money, essentially, the broker itself never touches your money. Goes straight to the financial clearinghouse, all regulated, all up to scratch. The broker just kind of connects you, gives you all the tools, the platforms, stuff like that. But yeah, so, and again, they only make money on the commission, so they like to charge for little privileges. Want to hold your trade over the weekend? Yeah, got to pay for that. That's their business model. They have to charge fees, right, for whatever privileges. They'll even charge you platform fees, all sorts of stuff. So it can be a bit more expensive trading futures with a futures broker, but you do have that peace of mind knowing that this is like, no matter what happens, you are kind of secured, insured, blah 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 blah. Like it's legit. Do you know what I mean? Like proper legit. So you have that peace of mind. And every order you place on a futures broker goes to the live market. Like you will be able to see it in the book, So that's really like the pros and cons. But it is a bit more pricey. It really is a bit more pricey to trade futures. But that's why it's recommended to do it more with a larger account. You know, if your balance is, you know, if you got a couple of grand maybe and you want to trade, better to stick to the CFD side. Um, just find a decent broker, decent spreads, you know, ECN, no B book, you know, just an overall decent regulated broker of some kind. Got some regulation, you'll be fine. Do you know what I mean? And you'll trade better on the CFD side. But if you got like little money, or if you got large amount of money and you want to trade futures, better to go to a futures broker. That would be my recommendation. All right. Aren't the bearish news going to push the market down? Not always, Dr. Me. Not always. It all comes down to perception, right? If it's already been priced in, if the mass majority of people already believe, oh yeah, it's going to be bearish. I mean, sorry, this is what the news is going to be like, and it's not really a major upset, doesn't have to do anything. A lot of the time, even with these news releases, it's already been priced into the market. So I've seen, you know, negative news push the market up because it wasn't as negative as expected, as what the market priced in. So news is really a big gamble a lot of time. If you're trading just news, there's people who do that as like a legit strategy. It's very difficult. Oh, we're about to reach that spot. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, let's see what happens. All right, we're in that little gap. I'm going to gear up to potentially sell. I want to see what happens in that little area. We had a bit of, come on, go back up. All right, you can see the buyers coming in, 400, back down to 3, back down to 2. There is that sell pressure coming in. They're still reloading back up to 400. They're trying to push it up, 500, back to 4. Almost at 5, back to 580, 600. They're still pushing it up. So the buyers are reloading, trying to break through this area, break through those icebergs. Another 300, another 400. Now build sell pressure. I'm going to jump in for a quick potential sell. I want to see some kind of movement down here. And I want to see, whoa, what the hell happened there? Look at that. Oh my God. Was that news? Holy shit. Did you guys see that? Oh my God. I think I got... What the hell happened there? Did you see that? Holy shit. And this is why oh my God. These things happen, man. These things happen. What did I even get hit by that? All right, it's only 250, but still, oh my God. Holy crap. We saw the sellers come in and then something happened there. Someone said something. That's got to be a news. It's not scheduled news release, but let me go to Financial Juice real quick. I want to know what the hell happened there. Financial Juice. Juice me Financial. Because they have like live updates that are not scheduled as well. But something caused that. That was... what time is it here? 3 o'clock. Oh, the new home sales. Was that new home sales? That usually doesn't do much. No, that wasn't new home sales because that was the candle before. That's new home sales. I mean, it's very positive, but that is ridiculous. 1 second. Let me just get to Financial Juice, see what's happening here. No, I don't want to sign in. Where is it? Come on. Breaking: Trump global tariff struck down by US Supreme Court. That's what it was. Fucking hell. Fucking tariff news. All right, well, what can you do, man? It's all, I'm telling you, man. It's always, whenever something like random happens, it's always Trump related. There it is. That was unscheduled. Who? Well, exactly. Like Delante said, um, finally good news to boost the market. Exactly. Something to actually, make this market move, wake it up a bit. But let's see how the market actually reacts to it, because this was obviously just an initial, what do you call it? Initial spike. Let's see if it wants to quickly recover and flatten out again. Um, but my God, what an absolute! Didn't even have time to set a stop, and it just. That's why you always use brackets. Absolutely, you should use brackets. You're right. But this is one of those things. The God candle. 6 p.m. Spain time was the option expires. Yeah, it wasn't an option. It was the Trump global tariffs. Here, let me pull this up. I'll show you guys. He keeps wanting to sign in. Leave me alone. You can barely. All right, let me just sign in and then. Come on. Is there not like a? All right. Either way, I don't know what my username is. I can't remember now. I don't know why. Oh, it's because I'm using Chrome. That's why. And I always signed in with Edge. All right. But either way, it was Trump global tariffs. So it is what it is. Dun, 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 dun. That's why you always use. Yeah, I saw that. That's why you always use brackets. Absolutely. But it seems the market wants to recover straight away. We'll let it calm down a bit. Bit of the old tariff. This whole tariff thing has been going on for how long now? How long has the tariff been going on? That was last year, April. Well, a bit before, I think. The whole tariff thing started. It's almost a year now. And it still causes shocks in the market every time. And this is the scary thing, because you don't know when it's about to occur. You just don't know. That was a prime example right there. No idea when it was going to occur. Boom, all of a sudden. You can't defend yourself against that unless you use brackets, like Moritz said. There's nothing you can do in those situations. You could be in a trade, and all of a sudden, one little unscheduled news, boom. Especially if it's tariff related, that always causes the market to go a bit crazy. Thought it was going to be a slow Friday. Clearly not. But we let the market calm down, and we can jump in. It wasn't a terrible loss. It was only 250. So I'm down 183 on the day. It's easily made up. So, and that's a good thing. Scaling in helps that way as well. Generally speaking, better to scale into your trades. You only put one contract in, it's not that bad. Now, if I put my full position of like 5 contracts, you would have times that by 5, and the loss would have been 1,250, right? That would hurt a lot more. So it's good to scale in with your trading as well, And I guess set the stop loss the moment you get in, because I'm a bit slow with setting my stop loss. I'll have a look and then set it, especially on the ES, where generally it moves quite slow. But yeah, what can you do? But that's an important lesson there. The market can always, and it's good that it happened live, because the market can always shock you, man. It can always shock you. All right. Game plan. Let's create a game plan now. So we went up to those gaps at the top. Obviously, we don't want to trade them because of the tariffs. Yeah, that gap there, nice. Technically, if it was a normal movement and it wasn't, down to the tariffs, we could have shorted at the top there. But we got to let this whole thing calm down, right? We don't want to be, what do you call it? Let's move all these gaps into their new position, because they all move about a bit as the market creates them. That one is still very nice in play. That's actually looking really nice, that gap there. We had a nice little rejection of it. This is no longer really in play, and then we got a nice bigger one. This is the one I really like at the bottom here. I really like that one. 860. That one looks really nice. This one seems to be traveling through now. You can see how we just traveled through it multiple times. Pretty much get rid of it at this point, right? It's not really doing anything. Let's look at the volume now, what we actually saw. So we had 8,000 to the buy side on that tariff. That is insane. 8,000. Instantly, a bunch of sell pressure came in. That's a lot of people just exiting manually. Boom, 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 boom. You know, all getting out. A lot of that 8,000 is going to be sellers getting stopped out, right? I.e. me as well. I was in a short right there. So people like me, other people who sold in this area, all getting stopped out. And remember, the volume on the sell side, just as I entered, was actually getting really good. We had like 700 at one point coming in, and it started pushing down, and then the Trump, boom, got us out, right? I think if the Trump stuff didn't happen, I think we would have seen a nice little retracement down. I was feeling actually very good about that trade as the volume was coming in. And then unfortunately, what can you do, right? Yeah, so a lot of people getting out the market. And then fresh sell pressure coming back in again, trying to push this market down. Buy pressure coming in. So right now we're a bit gridlocked. I would say buyers have it for now, just in terms of overall efficiency. If we look at look at this candle, right? About the same size as this candle, but the volume was, almost 5,000 here, 2.5. So half the volume on the buy side managed to move the market the same amount as, double the volume on the sell side. So for me, the buyers seem to be right now more efficient. I would like us to actually clear this area and then come back for a little retracement and then jump in. I don't want to chase it right now because I do feel a lot of these sellers here are going to potentially want to jump in the market. We saw this little peak up. Look at that. See how the buyers are getting less efficient now? Their volume's getting higher, but they're struggling to push it up high. It might not actually be a terrible short, to be honest. We're in that little gap. I'm just going to see. I just want a bit more confirmation from the sell side. 186, 120, back to 49, 100, back to 50. There's a little bit. Buyers still want to reload. I think we can have a really, really tight scalp here, actually. I'm going to jump in. Because realistically speaking, if we break above these buyers here, we can get out the market. But this time I'm going to set the stop immediately. All right. Set the stop right there. I'm not going to get caught out now. And if we see a bit, this damn drawing tool. If we see those sellers kind of pile it on a bit, we can scale in a bit and hopefully get some kind of movement down. But it doesn't look like a slow Friday anymore. It looks like the market has woken up, which is nice. In terms of take profit, yeah, really, I mean, we could break below here, to be fair. I'm going to set the take profit down to these lows here, but I'll be very interested to see what happens when we get back down to here again. If we get even just a smidge of buy pressure and they seem effective on getting out. But truth be told, even during this whole move down, if even like during these candles here, where we had all those buyers come in, especially, this chunk of buyers there, I'm going to be a bit weary about it because I want to see the sellers keep trading below buyers, all right? Because we're still seeing that buy pressure come in. Look, again, we're seeing it come in real time. The sellers are they're not doing bad, actually. They're doing okay. This is looking a bit nicer. I like the sell distribution at the bottom. We did have a bigger buyers originally at the top there. Yes, they dropped back down to 6 and 9, but at the time they were pretty decent. So it's not looking terrible. Come on, sellers, keep piling it on, keep piling it on. We can get back down to these lows, I think. I think it's all right. We really want to break through these buyers here, you know. Let's really squeeze them out the market. You can see the buyers coming in, trying to defend, but it's good that the sellers keep reloading. This is looking quite nice. But they can't lay off the gas, because the moment they lay off the gas and give the buyers just that smidge of opportunity, like now, we could have, that could be it. And then I'd rather just get out the market, bag the money. But we're just, so I got my finger on exit just in case if these buyers are able to defend. I want to see trade below the buyers, right? And sellers keep piling on the pressure. But you can see that was at 300. We're back down to 180. The buyers are coming in here trying to really desperately defend that area. I don't want any retracement. I want to keep, look at that, 400 on the buy side, still trying to come in. They're not very effective, which is good. And we're trading below them. So I'm happy about that. So I'm not exiting just yet. But should we get above them? Nah. I want to get the hell out. Come on. I think we're almost flat on the day. I think 180 is my loss so far. So we're pretty much flat on the day now. So it's not too bad. Come on. Come on, sellers. Keep piling it on. You can see the sellers slowly starting to struggle. These buyers are trying to, look at that. Look at the volume the sellers are pushing in. 500. We need to see movement. Real movement. But you see how they're struggling here? I'm slowly itching to potentially exit here. I'm going to give them a few more seconds to give me some kind of magic, but these buyers are trying to absorb those sellers. That's it. Go on, get below them. That's it. Keep going below. Add more pressure. Oh, that was a big chunk of buyers came in there. We saw it go from like 300 back down to 100. That's all right. We're still kind of trading within that range. It's fine. Still looking okay. A bit of smidge. Come on. You can push it down. Break through those buyers. I want to see them drop out. Here we go. They're starting to drop out. There's the buyers dropping out. Look at that. 900. Those are all the buyers exiting really quickly. They got squeezed out. That's what we want to see. But now we need to see follow through, right? Otherwise, we can keep trailing this take profit. Come on. Give me a bit more follow through. Break through them. Really break through them. Come on. Don't fail here. If you fail here, it's not that bad. I can get out. Come on. Keep adding. Look at that. Buyers trying to come back in. Come on. There we go. There we go. They're slowly starting to lose efficiency, these sellers now. Buyers coming in. I'm going to take the money. Whoops. The hell's going on? Oh, I got out. There we go. All right. Well, you saw as soon as those chunk of buyers came in at the lows, I'd rather take the money. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know if we actually broke even. Okay, yeah, we broke even. That's good. So we're a little bit up on the day now. It's not too bad. We kind of made back the Trump loss. It is what it is. But yeah, let's keep looking for more trades. Yeah. See that the moment the sellers, and I hope you saw that in real time, the reason why I exited. It's really hard to kind of speak it and what I'm looking out for, but I'll just go over what I saw. You just saw obviously we had, these big chunk of sellers come in, and that's a lot of those buyers getting squeezed out, right? The original buyers exiting their position. And then there was no real major sell pressure coming in, and you saw a smidge of buyers come in, but they were holding it up. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a lot. And then when you saw like that bigger chunk of buyers come in, and they were quite effective, like the candle was able to jump a little bit, rather get out. And of course, where we are as well, we're, at these lows. There could be a retracement, and then it's just the sellers kind of got exhausted essentially in real time. So you rather get out. But yeah, it looks like it really kind of wants to range up and down in these areas. In terms of, I can get rid of this little box. That's well and truly gone. Like there is a little gap here, but look, we're traveling through the gap like it's nothing. So this, although it's technically a gap in volume, you can just ignore it, right? We've traveled through it multiple times. It's not being respected. It's not going to be respected. It's useless. Get rid of it, right? This one, however, there was some level of respect still happening. Like here, it's still good. Do you see what I mean? It's still in play. What leverage are you using? I actually don't know off the top of my head what my leverage is. I have to check. I think the leverage is pretty standard stuff. Maybe 100 or 500. I don't know. You could select the leverage. They just set it up for me. I actually don't know. I don't know. But I don't even know what I could full port on this. Obviously, I don't want a full port. But this is only one lot on a 20K account. It's not that bad. Do you know what I mean? It's been a range market for more than 2 weeks. It has. It's been very range. It's been ranging like on the longer term for ages. If we go to the daily is just, let me go to candlesticks. You can see it better. Like we've been ranging, I would say the range really started around here, maybe, yeah, back in October. If you actually think about it, we're flat since October. It's just been a pure range. So it's been a pretty shit market for the most part. Hopefully, at some point this year, we're going to get some kind of trend. Because I tell you what, like a long-term trending market is so much easier and so much nicer to trade. Because there's no indecision, and it kind of trickles down into the lower, to the smaller time frames. People are overall, if we're like in a very bullish market long term, people are overall more happy to kind of buy, and the pullbacks that you get are going to just be that little bit better, and it's just a cleaner market to trade. But when you're in this kind of ranging market, especially if you're dead center of the range, I think we're pretty much in the center of the range right now, the longer term range. Let me double check. Yeah. All right, we're a little bit more on the lower side, but for the most part, where the point of control is, so this point here, this is pretty much dead center. We're pretty much there. And the thing is, when you get to the dead center areas of the range, you get real kind of indecision in the market. It really moves up and down, and you get like multiple ranges within ranges, and it just becomes chaotic. It's easier to trade, near the bottoms of the range for a long, and obviously near the top for shorts. That's much cleaner to trade. But when you're dead center on the longer term range, it's choppy as hell, the market. Really nasty. And we just happen to be dead center in the long term range right now. We've been that for the last couple of days, So you're going to get a ranging kind of, the days within like the intraday and the smaller time frames are going to be very rangy as well because of that. So it just becomes a little bit of a shit market to trade. So best thing to do is just scalp essentially. Don't be happy to get in and out. I think yesterday I was looking for that extension, and you saw I got chopped up yesterday. I was waiting for an extension, right? And it just didn't happen. It happened after we finished the live stream, typically, but during the live stream, it just didn't happen. There was no extension. Have you tried ATAS or advanced order flow platforms before? Heard that trading view has quite some lag with some volume. Yes, I used to use Sierra charts. for pretty much most of my career, 10 years or something. I use Sierra charts. Um, great platform, very difficult to use though. I only switched to TradingView about a year and a bit ago. About a year ago, I switched to TradingView. And the only reason I switched to it is just because I can log in anywhere in the world. It's cloud-based. Um, you're right. There is a slight lag with it. You are absolutely right with that. It is not as quick but I think that's because it's cloud-based. I don't know. I'm not a IT guy, but I think it might have something to do with that. I don't know. But there is a slight little lag. It's not as quick as some other platforms. But overall, you know, I like the fact that it's what I really like about TradingView is the fact that I can adjust the ticks per row. I love it. There's a few things it needs to include. So if I was to speak to TradingView, you know, if I was like to be on a call with someone at TradingView, I would say add a second column footprint because it would be really nice to have. Like I'll show you one actually. Let me just. So there's another platform, Go Charting, and that's kind of my backup platform because it's cloud based as well. But I don't like it as much as TradingView. But although order flow wise, it actually has a lot more features. So if I just go to Go Charting, I'll pull it up in a second for you guys and you'll see what I mean. So here we go. So this is Go Charting, right? Let me just get the stream back up so I can actually see what I'm showing. Here we go. Yeah. So here's Go Charting. Very similar to TradingView as it's cloud-based. So you can log in anywhere in the world. There's the NQ right now. But what you can do with Go Charting and pretty much every order flow platform. So the way I always had it on Sierra charts is I had the profile on one. I made it a double column and I had the bid and ask on the other side. So exactly like what you're seeing now, but the bid and ask wasn't a profile. It was like that. Yeah. So pretty much, how do I save it? There is no save. Okay, cool. So I had it like that. So I can see the bid and ask, the volume and the profile. I'm hoping TradingView will come out with that soon because I mean, what the hell are they waiting for? This is pretty basic shit. Do you know what I mean? Like having a double column footprint is quite basic. I can just use the delta by itself, like I'm currently doing. I just need to watch the candle a bit more and actually see the delta move in real time. The only reason I don't like Go Charting is actually it's very slow. It's a lot slower than TradingView. If you actually look at the, I mean, it's not actually too bad right now, but there is a much more noticeable lag with Go Charting. Is Go Charting free? No, it's not free, unfortunately. It's a bit cheaper than TradingView, but it does have, truth be told, it's a very nice platform. It's just a bit, it's not as smooth and it's not as, like all the features are there, it's just not as well refined. Do you know what I mean? As TradingView. So I'm still, you know, I'm still paying the subscription just because I like to have a backup platform. But like I could trade on it, but I truth be told, I actually prefer TradingView to it. But it has a shit ton of really nice settings, like especially the why is it not on my chart? What is this? What have I done? Ah, here it is. Yeah, bar statistics. So you can even see the number of trades, the maximum. Like it has so many freaking statistics. You can like a lot of it you can play around with. Come Delta. I'm a fucking kid. Cumulative Delta. But yeah, statistics wise, I mean, it has a lot of stuff that you could play around with. So in that respect, really like very advanced stuff. You got so many different things you can play around with. So it's well worth trying out. Just do know that there is a bit of a lag with it. It's not as smooth as TradingView, but all in all, still good platform. What Drive? Good to see you. What up, Sammy? Saw your Dubai vlog. You and Finn seem very chill. Ah, thank you. Thank you for watching. I wasn't sure if people would actually watch it, but I'm glad some people watched it. Um, yeah, it was a very chill little trip. I liked it. Oops, I just dropped that. Never mind. It was a very chill trip. Lots of work, but yeah, I had a great time. Had a great time. How far back does Go charting give historical footprint data? Actually, Daniel, that's a great question. I actually don't know. Truth be told, I don't know. I think on the 1 minute chart, I have no idea. Let's find out. On the 1 minute, I think obviously higher time frames it will go back further. If you're looking at 1 minute, let's see if we can still data here. Yep, there's still data. All right. So we're back to the 17th of Feb. I think it's about 1 week it goes back. Oh, still back. 13th of Feb. So there's been 5 trading days. Data's still there. Oh shit. Okay, it goes back quite a bit. Let's keep going. There we go. No, no, it's loading. Oh shit. Okay. To answer your question, Daniel, it goes back quite far. Yeah, it goes back quite far. To be fair, I mean, you probably just Google it; it'll give you an answer somewhere. I think here now. No, still going. Yeah, okay. It goes back ages. It's pretty decent in that respect. We can keep scrolling forever. So not bad. I tried Cluster Delta and the platform crashes. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Cluster Delta is like I'm not going to shit on them because they're so cheap. It's $7.50 a month. I mean, an order flow platform for $7.50 a month, and you get the data. That's the insane thing. The data itself usually costs more than $7.50. So, I mean, they're giving a service that I think no one else can match for that price. So, Cluster Delta is, in my opinion, I mean, they're great. But yeah, of course, you get what you pay for, right? I mean, $7.50, you're gonna get a bit of an unstable platform. It's not gonna be that great. You're not gonna have that much customization. But if you're really just looking for pure footprint, I mean, technically, it gives you that. You know, a friend had to explain they had an indicator coded exactly backwards. They took forever to actually fix it. A friend had to explain they had an indicator coded exactly backwards. They took forever to actually. What do you mean by that? Exactly backwards. Do you believe integrating the deep trade feature in deep charts would enhance your trade execution overall performance? I've never tried deep charts. I really do want to try it. I want to get around to actually trying it. It looks incredible. I think I think it's Andrea and Valentino or something. I think what they're doing, amazing. Those two guys, they're the real deal as well. They're really good traders. They know their shit. They built a platform that looks so far, looks incredible. I just literally haven't had the time to go around and try it. Um, but yeah, I think if they're building like the deep trade feature, I haven't looked into it. Is that just what exactly, JB? What exactly is the deep trade feature? Is it just clusters of big volume or icebergs? Maybe I think maybe that might be it. Like it might be an iceberg thing, right? Deep trade, by the sounds of it. Like how deep does the trade go? An iceberg. If I had to take a guess, I think it's something to do with icebergs. But so maybe like absorption and thing. If it does do that and it shows you, where icebergs are or have been essentially and been absorbed, I mean, of course, yeah, that anything that can help you. I mean, look, you can do it all just by eye, but if there's a certain feature that literally says, "Hey, look, iceberg here," you know, great. Like it saves you time, right? So absolutely, any good feature that can save you a bit of time and a bit of you know mental stress, I guess, definitely worth it. Damn, that's nothing. $7.50. I know it's so cheap. It's ridiculous. Apart from the crashing, of course. Yeah. To be fair, when I've tried Cluster Delta, I've tried it. It never crashed on me. So maybe try it on a different machine. Maybe it's something, I don't know, but I haven't tried it in years, so I don't know if maybe it's some update they did and now it's got some bug. I don't know. They are good traders, but they are so expensive. It is expensive, deep charts. Um, but I will do a review on it one day, and like I'll do it as an honest review as well. I'm not just going to be like, oh, it's amazing. If I see something I don't like about it, I'll be dead honest about it. But from what I can see from their marketing material on their website, it looks very good. It looks very good. It was a GAN speed fan, if I remember correctly. And when you pulled it to levels from the chart, it read out wrong, exactly backwards. All right, from what it should have. How the hell did he code that? I mean, fair play to him. Fair play. Let's have a look. Peter, is Peter still in the chat? Tiger, hola to you, Tiger. How are you, my friend? Long time. How are things? Are you still streaming with Trader Mike? Was it Trader? What was his name? I honestly forgot the name. I'm sorry. I like TradingView because of their mobile app and app. Yeah, again, the mobile app. Like this is another thing, right? Nowhere else. I can literally. I mean, I don't trade on my phone, but if I'm not like, if I want to look at something, like, imagine I set an alert right now. I set an alert somewhere higher up or lower down where I'm interested in trading. Trader Nick, that was it. Yeah. Then if I just want to glance at the footprint, I can literally do it on TradingView's app. I can just pull up the footprint on the app and I can have a quick look. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, volume's looking good. It's freaking amazing, man. To have the footprint on your phone is insane. Like, I could have only dreamt of that in the past, So TradingView is doing, I think, given time, they're a bit slow right now in getting the features out there, but give them time, they're gonna dominate this industry because order flow is growing. More and more retail traders are starting to go to order flow. It was basically institutional stuff. It's now become very easily available for retail traders. More people are jumping on it. Now the institutions are doing the whole quantitative stuff. Give it another 30 years, retail traders will have freaking quantitative trading and whatnot, and order flow will be the old thing. Do you know what I mean? We're always like 15 something years behind the big boys, right? But now that order flow is becoming the new wave in the retail space. TradingView is the biggest charting providers out there. They're gonna want to dominate it, and they're only gonna get better, and they're gonna come out with good features. Hopefully, that's at least my thinking. I might be wrong. I might not care. I might just leave it at that, but I doubt it. Freaky Friday. Oh, Peter, I was gonna say, has there been any hammerfoot candles? I haven't kept my eye out for any of them. Oh, there's a slight hammerfoot candle there. Yeah, that's kind of one. So what, you would have done the 1-to-1? I think this one would have failed, to be honest. You would have done 1-to-1. I would have failed. You would have got stopped out on the hammerfoot. Got close, but it would have failed, that one. Oh, there's a hammerfoot. Well, you would have got one there. And obviously, if you set your risk in terms of 1-to-1, the same amount, so it's always like, say you want to lose $50, it's always $50. You would have been even from those two. And I think that's it. We've only had 2 little hammerfoots. Yeah. We only had 2 hammerfoots so far. Mate, I've been stomped. The foot was heavy-handed with me. These last few sessions have been wild. I was still messing around on NQ. Has it been? Yeah. I mean, I haven't looked really. I haven't been tracking the performance of it, but technically, you would have been flat on the day with the hammer foot so far if you just traded the hammer foot. With it, you can clearly identify absorption, exhaustion, iceberg activity. It saves a significant amount of time. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, JB, that sounds decent. Like you can identify it by eye. You can do it, but if 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 it literally just shows you it, I mean, that's a hell of a lot easier, right? That's a lot better. Um, it just saves you a lot of time. So well worth it, man. Well worth it. As long as it works, obviously. That's the most important thing. We'll switch over to ES next week if you're still on it. Potentially, I need to talk to Ola Prime and see like what's going on with my NQ. Why can't I enter NQ? Why have you shut NQ off for me? See, I can click it a million times, nothing's happening. I've got to figure it out. What I appreciate most is the ability to trail your stop dynamically as new aggression comes into the market. Oh wow! So you can even do that. So you can even do. That's amazing. Damn. All right, I really need to get on deep charts, man. They're sounding better and better. They really are sounding better and better. They went all in, those guys, didn't they? Are you trading on Forex or futures? So this is CFD. So this is Forex. This is Ola Prime Markets. So obviously I'm an employee of Ola Prime. I've been promoted recently, actually. I'm now the director of growth for Ola Prime. So yeah, not a bad position. So yeah, we're a broker and a prop firm, but we only have CFD broker at the moment. So yeah, I'm trading CFDs, but of course I'm using the futures as for the order flow. So right side of the screen is futures. I'm actually executing on the CFD side though. So yeah. Woohoo, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you everyone. Thank you. I'm pretty much still doing the same job. Nothing's actually really changed. It's just the title's kind of changed, truth be told. Like I'm doing day to day is pretty much the same job. Um, but yeah, we're stuck in a range again. Typical, always ranging. Not much to see here right now. Okay, we got some big sellers came in right there. 840. I figured out what that is. Okay, so you see those 843 extra buyers that came in here? Where do you think? I mean, their stop will obviously be, probably most likely their original stop was down here, right? But as the market kind of drifted up and then it went against them, what do you think that institution that entered probably did? They probably manually exited their trade quickly. And that's why you're seeing pretty much you can actually on this one, perfect example, you can literally see where those buyers got the hell out. That's actually beautiful. You can see it almost perfectly right there. And of course, if they exit manually, it appears as a sell order, right? So if you're a buyer, say you jump in for a buy, that's obviously your initial position is going to look like a buy because it's a market order. Your take profit will look like a buyer again because that's a sell limit, so it gets matched up with an aggressive buyer. So your take profit will look like a buy order. Your stop loss will be look like a sell, but if you manually exit, so close the position or flatten, it will look like a sell. So you can see those buyers manually exited as they got into a bit of drawdown. They got a bit nervous. They quickly got out, right? So you can see that clear as day. So those are not fresh new sellers coming in. That is buyers getting the hell out the market. And that's why you shouldn't chase high volume unless it makes sense. Because you might just be chasing an exit. It doesn't mean it's fresh, aggressive people. It might just literally be an exit. Do you know what I mean? Hope so. You work hard, bro. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. And thank you, Ride the Wave, as well. Sean, Delante, Tiger, everyone. Thank you. So that was a really, really nice example right there. It doesn't always look that sweet, but that was a really good example. So let's look at this range real quick. It's not a great range. It's a bit of a choppy range, I'm not going to lie. But it pretty much started around here, I would say. So we were at plus 10,650. Wow, we're now at plus 4,200. So what does that tell you? From here to here, a ton more sellers came in. 6,000 extra sellers came in. They couldn't really push the market much further down. They kind of, yes, they did have a bit of movement down here, but also buyers equally also moved it back up. So it should technically have balanced out, right? But it didn't. Meaning this market, in my opinion, is going to be more bullish. It's going to be more of a bullish market right now because the sellers are not capable of really pushing that market down, despite putting so much more volume into the market. So we are still ranging. Obviously, you don't want to buy at the top of the range, but if we get to the bottom of the range again and you see buyers come in, it's absolutely feasible and absolutely fine to potentially jump in for a buy, target the top of the range. Why not? Why not? Because the buyers are more efficient. I mean, we could get the breakout now and we start drifting up, or we could hopefully we get another rotation back down, and then we can jump in near the bottom of the range at least for a buy. We'll see what happens. So can I use CFD to trade metals, commodities, etc.? I'm currently trading futures, but thinking of switching to CFD for silver. Absolutely. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can use CFDs to trade pretty much everything. Do you know what I mean? A few things, obviously, you can't. Like there's certain futures contracts that don't have a CFD equivalent, but these are things that like you probably wouldn't trade. I mean, it's like lean hogs and cattle. Like, I'm pretty sure most brokers don't have a CFD version of lean hogs. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they don't. So, but again, like no one trades that shit. You know what I mean? Maybe a farmer or something actually trades it, but like, for the most part, all the major stuff. Do you know what I mean? Is all there. So, but it's completely legit to trade CFDs. Use the futures volume data because it really does give you such a good insight. And then just execute on a CFD side. Absolutely fine. Sounds like something Paul would trade. Yeah, Paul loved a bit of lean hogs and cattle. He loved trading cattle. Okay, we might actually get a rotation down again to the bottom of the range. We could get a trade here then. Again, look at that. That's definitely take profits happening right there. You see how that volume spiked up? 1,333 right at the tip here. What do you think that is? Do you think that's fresh buyers coming in to buy? No, it doesn't make any sense, right? We didn't actually break out, so there weren't any breakout buyers. It's not going to be that. But we did get a bunch of buyers come in here. They've recognized it's a range. Where are they going to set their take profits? At the top of the range, right? Their take profit is going to be here. So they set their take profit and it got executed. And remember, take profit is a sell limit, right? Your take profit order is a sell limit. So a sell limit gets triggered when your sell limit gets triggered, it gets matched up with an aggressive buyer. And therefore it looks like a bunch of buyers, but really it's actually all the buyers getting their TP hit and getting out the market. So it's not something worth chasing. Now, if we broke out quite high, actually truly broke out of that range, right? Like by a few points, and then you start seeing a bunch of buyers come in, those are breakout buyers, right? That would make sense. So we're still very much in this range by the look of it. But the sellers, they haven't really been able to push it. We might actually get the breakout now. We're starting to see that bullish structure form. You can see it in the candlesticks a lot easier. Let me switch over to candlesticks. Yeah, you're starting to see that bullish structure, you know, higher high, higher low, potentially a higher low. We could get a higher high forming. You're starting to slowly see it. But then again, you know, you also had very micro structure again on the sell side, but it kind of failed. I mean, it was only 2 strokes, so it wasn't really. But again, you had it here a bit. But this seems to be a little bit more structured in the way it's, I don't know, it looks a bit cleaner. Here, not really. Yeah, it's the first time we're seeing a little bit more. And there we go. We're starting to potentially get the breakout. So see if there's breakout traders coming in. We'll look at the volume. If we see a bunch of buys coming in quite aggressively, you know those are breakout traders. And yeah, we're starting to see it. The numbers are slowly getting a bit bigger, but you are getting sellers coming in as well. If we switch over to the buy and sell, you can probably see it a bit better. But yeah, you can see the numbers are, yeah, you can see how the numbers on the buy side starting to peak. There's definitely breakout traders coming in now, trying to trade that breakout. Let's see if they actually succeed in pushing the market up. If they don't, they don't. Look at that. Sellers potentially trap those buyers at the top there. This might be a fake out. Wouldn't be opposed to potentially short it, truth be told, but the sellers are the weaker side of the market. So if I'm going to short it, just want to see what happens here. I want to see if those sellers can defend that 655. All right, they absorbed them quite quickly. I'm going to go in really quick for a short here. I think we might just get, maybe not even to the bottom of the range, but realistically speaking, we break above, you know, that 655. I want to be out the market anyway. So I'm only going to risk, what is this? $60, next to nothing. But I think we might at least get a push down to here, potentially. But I want to see if those sellers remain effective. I'm going to have my finger on exit. I'm not going to look at the P&L, not going to look at anything else but the actual orders coming in right now. It's looking okay. Looking quite good. 67, 160, 97. A bit of buy pressure coming in, back down to 30. I'm getting out. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. We got a little bit of they got absorbed very quickly there at the bottom. I think this is going to be more bullish, in my opinion. But I don't want to buy until we really clear that area either. So I don't even know, did I actually make any money? $14 on it. That's not too bad. It's something. $14. Buy myself a cup of coffee and a chocolate bar. But yeah, again, if you're fading the market, really you want to get out at the first sign of, you know, danger. If you're going to fade against fade the market, and that was the first sign of danger. We had that pressure come in, you know, we saw the sell numbers going up, and then instantly it dropped back down to, I can't remember exactly the number, but it dropped down, showing that those buyers were coming in. And it makes sense that they're going to come in, you know, near these lows again. Not worth it. Do you know what I mean? Not worth holding. I thought we might get a little bit more of a push down potentially, maybe, you know, a few more points and then you can just get out. But overall, we know the buyers are more efficient, so it's definitely more on the buy side. The only reason is, you know, we're at the top of this range. The buyers kind of failed at the top here. There was some decent sell pressure that came in. They were somewhat effective, but they just really lost steam at the bottom here. It just didn't work out, you know. So yeah, on a rangy day, you want to get out of trades. You don't want to marry them. That's the mistake I made yesterday. I married the trade a bit too much. I was waiting for those extensions, and you saw many times I was up. I was in the green. It was looking good, but I held it because I was like, come on, I want that extension. The greed came in. Do Do you know what I mean? I want to extend higher, bigger profits. I would have been much better off yesterday if I just said, look, I know I'm in a range. Let's just get out, grab what you can. It would have been absolutely fine. But yesterday I got a bit chopped up because of that greed. So I flipped my I flipped my expectations today. I'm more happy now to just take the little scalp now and be happy, even if it's only $14, whatever. It doesn't matter. If the market gives me, $50, $100, I'll take it. I'm not gonna. First sign of trouble, I'm getting out. But yeah. So it looks like we might actually break out properly here. Now, what's the game plan? What is the game plan? Do we have any areas higher up? Let me just switch to the 5-minute. Let me see what we got here. Okay, so we're back up to the highs here. We haven't really got much above that. The next area is far away. So I am looking now for retracements and then buying into that retracement. But I really want to clear this area properly. Like, technically we've broken it, but we haven't really broken it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we broke it by like half a point or something. Not really a true break. We want to see the market really kind of get up quite a bit and then come back for a retracement, and then we can continue up. Okay. We want to see a clean break out of this low volume node, because it could still very easily turn around here. Still very, very easily turn around, like it did with the Trump news, right? Like, okay, that was news, so you're going to get a bit of, overshot. Like, it's going to be more chance it will overshoot a little bit because of all the momentum and all the volatility. But it can still do it even in a calm market. They're not exact, the areas. They're not like to the T. You have to kind of imagine there's like a invisible kind of bubble around them where it's kind of still a bit of a danger zone, But yeah, the buyers they're struggling a bit. The sellers still want to kind of transact here. You see the buyers putting in the orders, but you're seeing them get true. This is true absorption right here, what you're seeing, right? You see how the numbers were remaining big, always like 500, 400, 300, 200, but it's not moving up. Like, the buy side numbers are remaining big, but it's not moving up. That right there is an iceberg. That's true absorption, what you're seeing. Because the reason the numbers weren't dropping rapidly, going back down, like it went to like 500. The reason it didn't drop back down to 100 or something is because it wasn't aggressive sellers. It was passive, right? It was passive sell limits absorbing a lot of buy pressure. Okay. So you've seen it again, 400, 400, 300. You see how it's just stopped? There is an iceberg right here. Now, this iceberg could be fresh sellers wanting to build up a position, or it could be take profits. In my opinion, because we had this kind of move up, it's more likely going to be take profits being triggered right now, right? Kind of makes sense to me. But it could very easily also be a big seller wanting to get into the market. They've got a big order here passively placed, and they're just, absorbing the other side of it. And they're right now, building up a big sell order. And the moment their sell order's done, they're going to start entering very aggressively to try get this market going down, right? So we'll see if that happens. But this would be my first sign of, oh, this could be a potential sell, because you're seeing buyers getting absorbed, right? What you want to see for the confirmation. Now, you could front run it, right? Just based on the absorption, you could front run it. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could theoretically front run it based on absorption. So you could enter a small position already, a small sell, have a really tight stop essentially above the absorption, because if it breaks the iceberg, it breaks it, and you're wrong. The iceberg is gone, right? And when you see that sell pressure come in, you add a bit more size, okay? But you want to see effective sell pressure. So you're seeing a bit of sell pressure coming in now. but we want that to be effective, right? How effective are those sellers? Look at that sell pressure coming in. They're looking quite effective. You could probably look at potentially adding another position then and trying to ride this down. But buyers are still coming in and they got absorbed as well, those sellers. So there's actually two icebergs in this market right now, right? There's an iceberg at the top here. There's also a buy iceberg right here. We've got two icebergs battling it out. But you're seeing aggressive buyers coming in, actually. The buyers are more aggressive right now because the numbers are changing quicker on the sell. Sorry, like they're being pushed down quicker. But yeah, let's see. Will they break through the iceberg? We'll find out. Now there's a bit of aggressive sellers in this area, which leads me to believe that there is some kind of institution in this area wanting to push the market down. Because it's no longer really sell limits being triggered. It's now aggression is coming in that area. Before it was all sell limits, right? That's why we saw the buys peak and stay where they were. Now we're starting to see the delta go red in that area. To me, that indicates there's more likely aggressive. There's some institution here trying to aggressively push the market down. Now that doesn't mean they'll win, right? Institutions can fail all the time, right? But there is definitely some dude with a lot of money. It's not a dude, it's going to be obviously an institution trying to get the market down in this area. But bear in mind, there are also a lot of institutional activity wanting to push the market up. But they are being very aggressive. You see, every time we dip into there, they're adding size, and they're pretty much the only ones holding this line. I wouldn't be surprised if we drop a few points here. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So I hope you guys are kind of understanding what I'm going through here in terms of reading the order flow, right? You see that aggression come in now? They're starting to push it down. That was a really good example right there of how institutions trade, okay? They set an iceberg to create an order and not move the price because they want to be filled at a really good price, yeah? So they set a sell limit, a big iceberg here. Maybe their order was 1,000 contracts. Who knows, right? Their 1,000 contracts gets triggered. They're now in for their full size, right? They're happy. And they all got in around, 920, 921, whatever price point, right? In this area here. So they're really happy now. And then once their order is filled, they want to now actually move the price in their direction. So they go in a bit aggressively. And every time it gets back into that area, they're adding aggressive orders to keep that market pushing down, right? And hopefully other people will spot it and be like, oh, yeah, there's a big seller here. And they start jumping in as well. And then it snowballs, and before you know it, boom, 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 the market can drop down, right? So that was but they can fail. This is the thing. Only because it's an institution doesn't mean they always succeed. Institutions lose all the time, man. You really got to weigh up your options. Do you know what I mean? Like, is this institution being a bit ballsy here? I think my camera's overheated again. So apologies. My camera's blown up. But it's fine. You can still hear me, which is good. But let's see what happens. Like, will they keep defending? Is this going to turn red? Look at that. Buyers that. Look at that. They're still building up an order because we're still seeing that iceberg happening, actually. 500, 600. There is a big, but it looks like it's about to get broken, to be honest. It doesn't look like they're going to hold it much longer here. I think this institution is about to drop out. They're adding a bit of size. You can see how the number went from 700 to 400. They're trying to fight it, but they're getting overwhelmed here. They're still trying to fight it. They're really clinging on, trying to add size 200, trying to get this market down 300. They're going very aggressive here, this institution. But I think they might be overwhelmed. Should we bet on them? Should we bet with them? Fuck it, let's go in. Let's go for the underdog. Come on, institution. I believe in you. I believe in you. Whoever you are. They showed a lot of heart, I think. You know, they were putting in a lot of volume. They're really showing a lot of heart. I am going to go with them. I believe in the underdog here. I'm going to have a really tight stop. Let's see if they can win. Sammy needs a new Ola account too. Sammy needs a new camera. Sammy needs a holiday. I need everything. And they failed. They failed. Look, they got broken through. Are they going to fight? Nah, they're look at them. Look at this number spike. That's them getting stopped out right now. Guys, I thought they had it. I thought they might show a bit of heart here. But unfortunately, that institution, I wanted them to win. They were doing well. You know. You can see them kind of clinging on for dear life there. And they're still, I mean, it's still kind of in play in a weird way, but I think they've been broken through. I don't think they're going to fight much longer here. They were really, especially here, they were really clinging on. You saw those buyers come in and they were like, oh, throw every last bit we have at it. Poor guys. Poor guys. I mean, they did well. They did well. I mean, they could still be in the market, to be fair. I don't think they actually got stopped out yet. I think they're still in the market. They are still in the market. Oh, man. It's fine. It is what it is. And a cigarette. Yeah, I do need one of them. I don't have any on me. Damn. What can we do? What can we do? I'm just going to have to wait. But the buy side, though, they're too strong, these buys. Collectively, they're very strong. There's definitely one singular big kind of entity at the top here, really desperately trying to push this market down. But overall, collectively, the buyers are pretty damn strong. And they're struggling. They're struggling to kind of break through. I would still ultimately bet more on the buyers here because, again, look, we've gone sideways. Always look at the cumulative, right? We were plus 5,000 here. Now we're at plus 2,000. That means over 3,000 sellers came in. Extra 3,000 sellers came in. And they couldn't push the market down. Predominantly this one freaking institution really trying to desperately push it down. It's still way more efficient on the buy side. What is this price action these past days? Really got me on the edge. I know, TR. Absolute filth, this price action, man. It really is. Really is. Oh, I seem to have missed some comments. Sorry. Possible to explain the difference with higher and lower time frame order flow? Extreme Kid, absolutely. So, higher time frame order flow is better just to look at volume distribution, right? Use it to look at the distribution of volume, right? So in a bull market, you're always generally going to find sellers are going to be at the bottom distributed and buyers are going to be at the top, okay? In a bear market, it's the other way around. Sellers are going to be, well, it will still be the same, but it'll be bearish candles. Sellers will still be at the bottom, buyers at the top, right? Now, in a ranging market or in a market that's very rangy, you kind of get that distribution goes all over the place. But you see, like, this candle here on the 15-minute, this gives us a good kind of indication, but we might be in a bull market here, right? Because we're seeing all those kind of sellers majority stuck at the bottom. The buyers came at the top, and there was some kind of follow through, right? So just look at the distribution of volume on the higher time frames to kind of get an idea of what kind of market we could be in, right? Let me see if I can show you other examples. I mean, we haven't really had, since the open, we haven't really had much clarity there, but maybe on a previous day, if I go yesterday near the open, if I just hide all this, where is the open of yesterday? Here we go. I mean, yesterday we were in a ranging market, but you see at near the beginning here on the open, you see how the distribution of volume is I mean, this is crystal clear, right? Sellers all distributed at the bottom. Again, sellers all distributed at the bottom. Majority and all the buyers at the top, nicely distributed. That's a clear indication bull market, right? On the higher time frames. And you see how it starts kind of going all over the place. And we get little smidges of, where the distribution kind of is just everywhere. Doesn't really show you much, right? But as we start going more down, you can start seeing how that distribution on the sell side starts looking more bearish, right? Buyers at the top, predominantly sellers at the bottom. Yes, there was a ton of buyers came in, they kind of held it for a bit, but then again, sellers predominantly at the bottom, buyers at the top, and we kind of get that distribution again for the sell side, right? And we push down for a bit. So I would use when you read the order flow on the higher time frames, you're looking for volume distribution. You're not really looking so much in real time what is going on. You're looking at a few candles previously. Can you see that distribution of volume be bullish or bearish? If it's clearly not, then just ignore it. It's all over the place. It could be anything, right? Like when the distribution is just everywhere and you don't really see any kind of clear pattern of distribution, and you want a bit of volume, you want real volume, right? Like here, we don't really have real volume, and this is already towards the end, it's the end of the day, so you're not going to get much volume, but that's essentially what you're looking for on the higher time frames, right? On the lower time frames, like the 1 minute, you're looking at the real time orders coming through, but you're also still looking at distribution of volume, right? But you're looking at, where did buyers fail? Where did sellers, like I showed here, the absorption that's happening in real time? That is what you're looking for on the smaller time frames, okay? Like on the 1 minute, you're looking for that kind of activity happen second by second, minute by minute, where like we identified there was an iceberg here, right? There was a sell limit. We identified that just because of the real time watching the numbers. You saw the numbers weren't changing on the buy side. They were going up and up, but it wasn't going up. Like this number was increasing, but it wasn't pushing up. That means there is absorption. There's an iceberg, We started seeing every time we dipped in there was some seller trying to aggressively push it down. And yes, they kind of failed a little bit here, but they managed to take over the market again a little bit. They held on for dear life. You're looking for that kind of movement. You're looking for that real time absorption, So kind of hope that helped. Bro is Satoshi Nakamoto. We see Japanese writing on you. Yeah, this camera. Obviously, I bought it off Amazon. No, actually, no, it's not the camera. It's the little what's it called? Like because it's a DSLR camera. I had to buy like a capture card or something. Bought it off Amazon, and it's got like Chinese writing on there. So, yeah, the camera itself is like Sony, so which is Japanese actually, but yeah. You're welcome, Mikey. You're welcome. But yeah, it looks like we're just kind of died off. I do still think the buyers majority have it. Yes, there is some seller at the top here trying to push it down, but I think ultimately they're in a losing battle here. I don't think they're gonna do much damage. They've tried and tried and tried. They keep failing. Collectively, buyers are just a lot stronger. There's only so much they can keep pumping into the market before they give up, and I think they're going to give up soon. So, yeah. And you can see it in the cumulative again. We've gone sideways. They've put in so much volume, sell volume in the market. They're not really doing damage. They're still trying, but they're not really doing massive damage. They could succeed. Don't get me wrong, they absolutely could. But how long are they going to keep trying until they realize this might be, do you know what I mean? This might be a losing battle here, and decide to just get out the market. And then once they get out, buyers will be able to push it up. Because I think collectively buyers are just a little bit more eager to buy as a collective. What time frame you draw the volume profile on? 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, really depends. So this is a 1 minute volume profile, this little push up we had. Again, there's another, I can actually get rid of this volume profile. We've taken out the highs of this one. So this one no longer matters. Get rid of that. And then 15 minute are the bigger ones, right? So, you know, we got this push down here. So this volume profile, and we're in that kind of little gap here. So that's why I'm waiting for this gap to really break before I'm looking for proper buy. So I really want us to break through there, come back, and then I can buy back up to here. We're in that gap right now. And then got another little volume profile of this little push up for any potential retracements. And I think I caught a few retracements earlier. I think I caught one here or something or whatever. But yeah, so that's how you do it. Appreciate the explanation. Sorry for asking another question. Possible to explain the table at the bottom of the chart? Absolutely. No. It's good you're asking questions. I'm happy. This is what it's all about. So the table at the bottom of the chart, very, very simple. So the first one is the delta. That's the overall delta within the candle. So here it's 989. That means there was 989 extra sell contracts traded, aggressive sell contracts traded in that candle. So if you just tot up the overall, like on this one, 669, 506 plus 163 is 669, right? So that's that. Delta percent is basically the overall delta divided by the volume and turned into a percentage times 100. So if I switch on the volume in the table, right, you can see the mathematics at play. So altogether, we had 3,130 contracts traded. The delta is 989. So if you divide 989 by 3,000, you get about 31%. Okay, so that means there was 31% more selling. Holy shit, these sellers, that seller has won. Motherfucker. And I got stopped out because of that tiny little wick. What a joke. Anyway, I mean, fair play. I did not think they were actually going to succeed here. They were really trying, and it was a really hard battle for them, but they actually managed to push it down. Fair play to them. Well done. They deserve that. They really did try well there. Hats off to them. But anyway, yeah, so delta percent, just look at it as basically here there was 31% more selling than there was buying, right? So it kind of, I mean, it can be useful, but just see it, it's basically just a percentage. I don't really use it that much. Very rarely do I really look at the delta percent. So, and then session CVD, this is the one I use for ranges, right? So session CVD is really good to kind of see the overall. This is, you know, from the beginning of the session, the trading session, what the cumulative volume delta is. So since the beginning of the session, we have had negative 519 extra sellers, right? And this is basically just a tot up of all the delta, you know, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, constantly being added together to give you the overall cumulative delta over the across the whole session, right? And that's usually good to kind of gauge like the efficiency of the market, especially when it moves sideways. You can kind of gain, because if there's like one side that's really more efficient and, you know, we've just been going flat, you can generally bet that the other side's going to take it. In this case, however, a ton more sellers came in, they remained flat, but that one institutional seller was really adamant to push this market down, and they did it. They absolutely did it. So fair play to them. That's why I was a little surprised that they managed to do that. They really fought hard there, and the results paid off. Thomas, good to see you. Long time, man. Hey, Sammy, how you doing? Hope your Dubai trip went well. Yeah, really, really well. You can actually watch it. I uploaded a vlog yesterday of my Dubai trip, so feel free to watch that. I got up to a bunch of fun stuff, so yeah, it went really well. Went really well. Although there was a bit of a fuck up happened. Our videographer had his camera stolen, so we lost so much footage that we recorded in Dubai as well, of all places. Usually Dubai is like super, you can leave your phone about, you can, leave your bag or whatever, no one steals anything, but it was just proper unfortunate. He had his camera stolen, so hopefully they recover it and find it, because not only for him, obviously, his camera, but also all the footage we took. I mean, we managed to record some stuff on the phone, which is okay, but a lot of the footage, unfortunately, if it doesn't get recovered, it doesn't get recovered, and yeah, it's not good, but it is what it is. What can you do, man? What can you do? But yeah, little bastard Wick. I know, what an absolute joke, right? What an absolute joke. This little bastard Wick. I think, wait a minute, trade history. Yeah. What an absolute bastard. Look at that. To the T. What a nice little stop out there. You can't make this shit up, man. This stuff happens. Truth be told, I probably would have got out around here. I would have been like, because I didn't think the sellers would have it. This surprised me, this move down. So I wouldn't have been in the trade anyway, but I'm not going to pretend that I would have held it down all this way. I would have definitely got out probably at these wicks here and be like, nah, the sellers aren't having it. So it's no big deal. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this session, I think. Was a pretty decent session. Mortiz, what's he saying? You think ES will close above 7K anytime soon again? Yeah, I think it will. I think it will. I mean, we're not really that far away. And if you remember on the daily, we are in a range, right? We're in a clear daily range. We've been in that range since like October. Look at that. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. We've, again, rejected at the bottom of the range. Ultimately, over, the next few days, weeks, whatever, we're going to start drifting up again, probably to the top of the range. And then maybe we might even, go rotate down again and keep doing this until eventually something happens and we break out. So I do think we're going to, cross over 7,000 at some point. I just don't know when. Do you know what I mean? But it does look like, we're just going to probably drift up to the top of the range over the next week, maybe. But you never know. This could be the moment it breaks out, man. This could be the moment, it could just do a little lower high and then boom, anything is possible. But if we're looking at just pure statistics, it looks like we're just going to rotate up again. So, yeah. Great values, although you're welcome. You're welcome. I made the re-entry. Mastro, well done. I'm glad you caught it. Took the beautiful short, nice profits of the day for a Friday. Very good. Well done, Mastro. I'm glad you took that short. Very, very glad you did. But yeah, NQ going back to 2,500. There you go. The good old NQ. But guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I think that was a really good session. Enjoy your weekend. I'll be back Monday as always, trading, and hopefully Monday to Friday every single day next week I'll be trading live, so do join me again. But apart from that, have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. I hope you get up to a lot of fun stuff, and yeah, have a good break away from the charts, because we need that once in a while. But apart from that, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you Monday. Take care, everyone. Thank you.